You may find this hard to believe, but all this is for you.
God bless the internet.
Hello. So I was tagged by Mark Jackson to answer some questions that he was tagged with, and he had done a video where he went through and answered some questions, and then he also had a couple bonus questions from some family and friends regarding his YouTube channel and those types of things. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of like a get to know you, what motivates you type of thing, as far as why you're doing YouTube and that kind of thing. So I wanted to take this time to go ahead and answer those questions and get my answers out there for everyone. And at the same time, I am going to tag 3 people or 3 channels and have them also answer these questions if they would be interested. By all means, you don't have to, but I am throwing out the challenge to these 3 channels regardless. So the first channel would be Sushi Cat Gamer, and that is with Cat and Gav. Gav may not want to participate, but I don't know why he wouldn't. He's pretty personable and that kind of thing, but I'm going to tag those guys. Then there's Phoenix, also known as Denise, and I'm going to tag her with these questions. And finally, Joker Girl, also known as Lois. I'm going to tag her as well. I know she's doing and has done like a question and answer videos as well, but and she's getting ready to do one, but I thought I would go ahead and tag her with these questions, and she can incorporate it into her video if she would like, or what have you. So I will attach the questions, the standard questions, in the description, and I will go ahead and put my bonus questions in, just so if for those that are tagged can use those to answer the questions, and anyone who is not tagged but would like to do one, then by all means they can go ahead and do a similar video. So let's go ahead and get started with the questions, and we will kind of go from there. So first question, why did you start YouTube? Well, I'm going to take that question as being, why did I start doing videos on YouTube? Because, you know, we all pretty much have the same reason why we started watching videos on YouTube, either kind of semi educational, for whatever purpose, you know, either watching games or anything else. There's also the entertainment factor and all that kind of stuff that comes along with YouTube. But as far as why I started watching or creating videos on YouTube, it started because I was watching one of Phoenix's videos, and she through chatting with her on the video through comments, she had indicated that she was having a lot of defense issues and that type of thing. And so I had mentioned that I, you know, oftentimes create like these defense towers. Basically, you know, I use the I use the foundations, the pillar foundations from the wood tab, and I, you know, get them you know, kind of up in the air a little bit, and then I'll put usually 2 to 3 turrets up on top, and whether or not they're powered or not powered, variety just kind of depends on the settlement and also the resources that I have. So so I wanted to show her what I was indicating, and like the placement of where I had put them, and this was at the Dalton farm there on Far Harbor, and that's where she was talking about. And so I was currently there building as well, and I wanted to show that I had put those out there, and you know, it helped me a lot with the defense of the Dalton farm. So That's why I did my first video, and from there it just kind of, I guess, just kind of progressed from there. So there you go. Where did your YouTube name come from? So my YouTube name is Loco 4-Pack, and that's actually kind of a username or a name that I use for a lot of things, and it's kind of got a few different meanings to it. So I'm a huge Green Bay Packers fan, and so my favorite football player is Brett Favre. So Loco 4-Pack, crazy 4-Pack, is basically kind of what it means. But it also has another meaning, where I'm also a pretty big um, I'm also a pretty big train fan, and so it was kind of a way for me to incorporate both my love for the Packers and my fandom for trains and model trains and that kind of thing. So loco as in locomotive. So it kind of has a few different meanings to it, but that's where I came up with the name for my YouTube name, and there you go. How long have you been doing YouTube? I started YouTube sometime after Far Harbor dropped, which was June, I believe, May or June. So I've been doing it since about that time, and I'll kind of go in spurts where I have put out quite a few videos, and then other times not so much. It just kind of depends on if I build something that I want to show on YouTube. I have recently started doing some streams, mostly live playthroughs of survival mode that I started, and so I do those on Saturdays, starting at noon Central. And I do that because I have the time on Saturdays and don't have much else going on. So yeah, so that's how long I've been doing it, and what I currently do. So I'm always coming up with new ideas and new things um, to do videos of. Particularly in the building area. But yeah, what do I use to record with? Is the next question. So what I record with is, I wanted to do something um, cheap or free in order to record with, and so I was, obviously doing some research, and I tried a few programs. I don't even remember what they were called now, but they kept wanting to put water spots on the or watermarks on the videos, and if I'm going to do a video, I want it to at least look halfway decent, right? So what I found was there is a Xbox app called Game DVR, and the thing that worked out great with it is um, it is uh, it's an app that you can install on Windows, and I play on a PC. So and I have Windows 10, so it was something that I could install on Windows 10 and use with that. So that worked out rather well, because then I could just record with it. It's no fuss, no muss. I mean, it's about as simple as you can get. The settings are really simple. The quality's okay. I'm not super impressed with the quality of the videos, but I feel like they do all right. And then from there, I just record audio in game, or post production, I guess you could say. I use the editing tool that I use, just to, if I want to do narration like I am now over the top of a video, I just use my editing tool for that. And again, in the interest of keeping things cheap and that type of thing, I chose to do Movie Maker, Windows Movie Maker. So I was able to get that for free. It was basically a plug-in by adding like Windows Plus, or one of those many Windows add-ons that you can get, and it was free. So that's what I use to edit my videos as well. And I know there's a few others out there. In fact, Mark Jackson's recommended a couple, and in his video as well. So those are some things that I might look at changing as I progress, and maybe do more editing and videos and that kind of thing. Changing up, increasing the quality and all that kind of stuff. So I keep it simple, and it works well for me. It's like one keystroke, basic, or two keystrokes. I use the Windows key and the G key, brings up the app, and then I just click the record button. And so it can't be much simpler. So once I get in the game, I do that, and boom, I'm recording. So it works out pretty well. Do I make my own thumbnails? Yes, I do make my own thumbnails, and I keep them rather simple. I just take screenshots of in game. Sometimes I remember to hide the display, the different background display things on the HUD displays, I should say, in game. So sometimes I remember to do that. Sometimes I don't when I take my snapshots, but I just take those, and almost all the time what I do is I just open them up in Microsoft Paint because it's free on my computer. I don't have any other photo editing software that I'm familiar with or anything, and like I said, I don't do anything overly elaborate, and honestly I'm not that that good at photo editing stuff, and I'm not that creative and artistic, so I keep it simple, and hopefully it doesn't turn people away from when they see my thumbnails, but hey, go ahead and make a comment. Let me know what you think of my thumbnails. If you think I can improve them, or suggestions on how I can both improve them, and maybe some cheap / free programs that I might use for those. Hey, I'll give anything a shot. I don't mind being creative. I'm just not as creative as I would like to be. So yeah. Who makes my intros and outros? So really, my intros and outros, basically I just use a whatever I'm using for my thumbnail, and they've kind of progressed as my videos, as I've done more videos and that kind of thing. So currently what I do is I just take the thumbnail, and I just add them to the front and the back of the video, and then I may put some text flying in over the top, or use the actual thumbnail with the text already on it, and then I add audio clips, and these are audio clips that I pulled down from the internet a long time ago. Basically, they're almost all of them are movie quotes that I used to get a kick out of, finding movie quote audio files, waves and MP3s and whatever. I'd pull down those audio files, and I have a decent repository of movie clip audio files, so I use those. There's also the audio file, if you've noticed, there's one where there's a giggle. That's actually my daughter when she was like a year and a half old, and all I had to do is kind of like make this sound like to her, and she would just giggle like crazy, and I thought her giggle was so cute. So you'll notice that some of my videos I have her giggling at the beginning, and especially a lot of my earlier videos, that's pretty much the only one that I'd use at the beginning, but I've started kind of adding some other ones in and that type of thing, and I also do a similar thing at the end where I'll put some audio files, and those files I usually, you can tell that most of them kind of are like introduction ones, like, hey, you're gonna see something like unusual and crazy, and then the ones that are at the end are usually like, what the hell did we just see? Or something kind of indicates that it's the end and the beginning and the end. So yeah, so that's how I do my intros and outros, and the things that I use for those. But do you think you will ever quit YouTube? Yeah, sure. I mean, um, I get kind of frustrated sometimes with some of their restrictions and requirements and all that kind of stuff. So that gets to be a tad bit annoying to me. Um, Likewise, um, you know, I may run out of ideas of what I want to do videos on, but as long as for the most part, as long as I have ideas of what I can do a video for, and I still have an audience to watch them. Right now, the audience is fairly small, but as long as I still have the audience to watch them and ideas of videos to do, then sure, I'll continue doing YouTube videos. I may end up finding another outlet for those videos. So you never know. So those are the standard stock out of the box questions, and then I have a couple of bonus questions, both from my daughter, and they're kind of related. So, are there any other games you might make videos of? So I don't play a lot of games. I'm not one of those people that has to, play a game for like 2, 3 weeks and then switch to a new game and constantly have a new game. I find games that I like and I play them. And I play Star Wars: The Old Republic, which is Star Wars' MMO from BioWare. So I play that. Um, Currently, we're getting ready for a expansion for that, and um, they've kind of let me down and a lot of the people down. I'm in a guild there with my brother and some other people, and we enjoy the end game content. We enjoy doing the raids and that kind of stuff. Problem is that they haven't came out with a new raid in quite some time, and it gets to be, even though we haven't defeated all of the raids, the in-game content at its most difficult level, it gets to be kind of tedious and monotonous doing the same things over and over and over again. We want to see new stuff. And although I do enjoy the story content that they have, I really play most of the time for the in-game content. And the last expansion, they didn't give us any new in-game content to speak of. I mean, very minor, no actual new raids. With this new expansion, they claim that there's going to be some new in-game content for groups. However, they haven't admitted that it's going to be a raid. So I may end up not playing Star Wars after a while, because it's pretty frustrating to not have that part of the game that you really enjoy. I mean, why play an MMO if you're not the content isn't there for you to play with people? It just doesn't make much sense. So, um, we'll see how this next expansion goes. There's no real raids in it, then what I would probably do is play the story content and then hardly play at all, if ever again. Whenever my subscription runs out, then I wouldn't play any longer. And what other videos might make it to your channel? Well, my daughter is constantly wanting me to play Sims 4, which I do have Sims 4. I enjoy the game, but I don't enjoy it as much as I do Fallout. And you can build things in there and do all these things, and in some ways you can even be more creative. But it's not near the same as Fallout. So maybe I would do some YouTube videos of that. I don't know. Um, and maybe my daughter might talk me into some other game or something like that. But right now I'm really enjoying doing the survival mode, and still have a lot of building left to do in Fallout. And not just on my main playthrough where I do all my building, but I also have an idea for some video series of survival mode building. Basically showing that the progression of the settlements. When you first get them, you're going to put out the necessities. You're going to get all the stuff that you need out there. Particularly in survival mode, you're going to need a bed, you need some water, and you need some place to cook food, and maybe a place to store some supplies for those times when you're running around and you might need to resupply or something like that. So there's that possibility, of doing that, and then, how that settlement progresses and how it gets to be, it grows as my character grows and my skill perks grow. Currently I can build like the first or second level of shops. I can't build the third level of shops, and also I can't build the fusion generators on my survival mode. So as I get that ability, maybe you'll start seeing some of those shops come in, and also the fusion generators. Because of the fact that I can't build the fusion generators, I don't put a lot of generators out. So and also my defenses are just the unpowered turrets. I don't have any powered turrets to use. So I don't, because I don't want to put out a bunch of different generators just to power up some turrets. So there's that as well. So a lot of different ideas still left to do in Fallout, and I guess I'll keep going until I stop coming up with ideas, or what have you. So those are the questions that I have. I hope that you all enjoyed this time with me, and also learned something about me, and all that kind of stuff. So make some comments, let me know what you think, let me know if there's any other questions that you might have, what have you. And let's see if we can't get more people involved in my channel. I'm not a big subscription whore where I feel like I need to try to get as many as I can, but it's always nice to, if you're going to put something out there, it's always nice to have people want to see it, and that kind of stuff, and get it out there to the masses. So yeah, that'd be cool. But for those people that I tagged, Sushi Cat Gamer, Phoenix, and Joker Girl, I will be letting you guys know that you've been tagged, and I hope that you follow suit and do a similar video as well, because I think this is a lot of fun, and a pretty neat little experience. What a neat, unusual experience to do videos on YouTube anyway. I guess it's my 15 seconds of fame, but there you have it. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.